the B final for the lightweight women's single sculls. We've got the Netherlands, Switzerland 1, Switzerland 2, the Czech Republic and France.
Nur noch 2 Minuten, dann beginnt das erste Rennen des Nachmittags mit dem Frauenleichtgewichtseiner, dem B-Finale mit Holland auf Bahn 1, Schweiz auf Bahn 2, Tschechien auf Bahn 3, Schweiz 2 auf Bahn 4 und Frankreich auf Bahn 5.
Let's see who we've got lane by lane lining up there at the start. Lane 1 for the Netherlands, we've got Fedra van der Molen. Lane 2 for Switzerland, Aileen Roll. Lane 3 for the Czech Republic, Kristina Neuhortova. Lane 4 for Switzerland, Olivia Nacht. And lane 5 for France, Aurélie Morizot. There we have it, folks. We've got this start now for the B final of the lightweight women's single sculls. Let's see who's making the best of this start. We were due to have Fedra van der Molen in lane 1 for the Netherlands. Sadly, she's had to withdraw for medical reasons. So we can see a great picture here of that's Aileen Roll for Switzerland in lane 2, making a great start here. And the early leader, not by much though. Alongside her, we've got Kristina Neuhortova for the Czech Republic, Olivia Nacht. At the moment, it's perhaps half a length separating these 4 scullers at the moment coming up through 200.
Die ersten 200 Meter sind bereits zurückgelegt und wir haben eine frühe Führerin, die das Rennen hier auf der ersten Position anführt. Das ist Aileen Roll aus Genf. Sie hat momentan eine halbe Länge Vorsprung auf die Französin und dahinter dann Olivia Nacht, die Schweizer Meisterin vom vergangenen Wochenende. Auf der 4. Position momentan die Tschechin Kristina Neuhortova.
300 metres in and starting to solidify this lead. Aileen Roll at the front of the field, half a length up on current second place Aurélie Morizot, not letting her go. All of these athletes now at 36 strokes a minute, so they've all strode down to a pretty consistent race rhythm as they come up towards the 500 metre mark. We'll get a pace there and a bit of a split to see the precise margins between them going through 500. The only one starting to drop off the back of the pack perhaps is Neuhortova, who's a bit over a length down on Roll, currently riding in 4th place. This being a B final, they're contesting places 7, 8, 9 and 10 amongst the 4 athletes out there on the water at the moment. So a lot still to play for as they come up towards 500. Let's see how their splits turn out.
Ja, bei 500 Meter ist es noch immer Aileen Roll, welche die Führung in diesem B-Finale im Frauenleichtgewichtseiner innehat. Dahinter dann etwa knapp eine Bootslänge. Hinter dran ist Aurélie Morizot aus Frankreich und nicht weit zurück dann auch Olivia Nacht, ebenfalls aus der Schweiz. Sie kommt aus Baden, studiert in Bern und hat in die Saison zusammen mit Aileen Roll begonnen. Sie war am ersten Weltcup 9. im Leichtgewichtsdoppelzweier, danach dann in den Einer gewechselt, jetzt fahren sie gegeneinander und es ist natürlich auch eine interne Ausscheidung, wer kann dann die Schweiz an den Europameisterschaften und den Weltmeisterschaften vertreten. Im Moment ist Aileen Roll etwas in der besseren Position.
Right, coming up through 750, Aileen Roll still out in front, but here comes Aurélie Morizot, starting to really find pace here in this second 500 and trying to draw level with the Swiss athlete at the front. In fact, as I say so, that's just what they do. So a lot for the local Swiss to be excited about on the banks here. My name's Peter O'Hanlon. I'm joined up here by Michael Schmidt in the tower, but out there on the course, we've got Timon Vernas and Camilla Hadland-Horrocks at the 1,000 and Tim von Vliet at 1,500. So let's catch up with Camilla and Timon to find out how the Swiss athletes are getting on going through 800.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, lots of Swiss interest. 50% of the field now contesting from the home nation. And it was a great start for Eline Roll, the Geneva resident and under-23 world champion, getting the best of the first 500 metres. But as we progress through this second quarter, Morizot of France just gradually starting to make her mark and feel, her presence felt here, sort of trying to beat out the home favourite. And with that, I'm going to hand you over to Timon to update you in the local language.
Ein veritabler Blitzstart von Eline Roll auf den ersten 500 Metern, aber jetzt auf dem zweiten Streckenviertel ist es die Französin Aurélie Morizot, die die Führung übernommen hat. Die Bronzemedaillengewinnerin von der U23 WM 2018 führt nun mit ungefähr einer Dreiviertellänge Vorsprung. Dahinter ist es aber noch nicht entschieden. Die Tschechin Kristina Neuhortova sowie auch Olivia Nacht vom Ruderclub Baden, die Schweizer Meisterin in dieser Bootskategorie. Sie sind noch dran an der Spitze und werden alles dran setzen, nochmals sich nach vorne zu beschleunigen, nochmals nach vorne zu kommen. Eline Roll de la Société Nautique de Genève, section aviron, championne du monde moins 23 en 2019 avec Sofia Miekin Sarasota en deuxième position en ce moment. Elle va essayer de remonter sur Morizot. Aurélie, la française qui est en tête de cette finale en skiff femme poids légère.
Well, it looked like Morizot of France had a bit of a rocket behind her because she zoomed through this middle 500 metres from sort of 7:50 gone, heading towards 12:50. The Swiss are going to need to do something special here, Roll and Nack, to get themselves up to the top of the field. And my word, Neuhortova of the Czech Republic, she was trailing back and forth at 500 metres, but she is pressing through the field now, Tim.
Yeah, she's coming right back into the race here in this B final. Great to see her. And I think she's having a great race here. She was planned to race the double, but she's jumped into the single. And she's really trying to get back into contention for first place here in the B final. But it's still Aurélie Morizot from France leading this B final. And she does so with the highest boat speed, but a great push there from the Czech athletes trying to claw back. It's a little over half a length at this stage, but I think great news for the local crowd that Eline Roll from Switzerland also making her way to the front of the field. It is at 1500 meters. It is Morizot leading by a length over Neuhortova from the Czech Republic, but just a few feet back, it is Eline Roll from Switzerland with Olivia Nacht, the second sculler from Switzerland, just clear water back to her fellow squad member. But out in front, a very strong performance from Morizot from France. She's leading this A final, Peter, but is there a big charge coming from the Czech sculler? I think she's moving up to vie for the lead in this B final.
Yeah, she's pushing up. She's had a great middle thousand, moving from fourth to second, and she's got the best boat speed out there. She's still ticking it over 34, 35 strokes a minute, and now drawing level with Morizot at the front of the field. So these two starting to leave Eline Roll behind. So the question is, what response will we see from the local Swiss with a bit of Swiss support on the banks here coming into the Red Boys?
Ja, Eline Roll hat einen Blitzstart hingelegt. Auf den ersten 500 Meter war sie erste, auf den zweiten dann zweite. Jetzt ist sie etwas zurückgefallen, überholt worden von der Tschechin gleich neben ihr und auch die Französin momentan etwa auf gleicher Höhe wie die Tschechin. Die Tschechin hat sich eher zurückgehalten auf den ersten 1000 Meter und dreht jetzt hier mächtig auf. Sie hat die höchste Bootsgeschwindigkeit und lässt nun langsam auch noch Aurélie Morizot von Frankreich hinter sich. Eline Roll momentan auf dem dritten Platz und dahinter Olivia Nacht, die Schweizer Meisterin. Also Eline Roll konnte das Klassement von der Schweizer Meisterschaft nun am B-Finale im Weltcup drehen.
Well, what a sprint from Neuhortova, moving up into the lead now by a canvas already, coming to the last 50 or so metres. The sprint is on. She's at 38, Morizot at 37. I think we're going to see the Czech athlete steal away the win in this B final for the lightweight women's singles. Last couple of strokes, and she does so. Half a length ahead of Morizot of France, who takes second. Third goes to Eline Roll for Switzerland, and fourth to Olivia Nacht, also of Switzerland, in this B final for the lightweight women's singles. Time now for the last B final today. It's the B final for the lightweight men's singles up next. We've got Daniel Gutierrez Garcia for Spain in lane 1, Pedro Jose Kirk-Dixon for Argentina in lane 2, Alexis Vladimir Lopez Garcia for Mexico in 3, and Sid Ali Budina for Algeria in lane 4. Coming up through 500 metres, the Spaniard Gutierrez Garcia currently out in front by over a length, so a great start from him.
Wir kommen zum zweiten und schon letzten B-Finale des heutigen Tages, nämlich zum B-Finale im Männer-Leichtgewichts-Einer. Wir haben Spanien, Argentinien, Mexiko und Algerien auf der Strecke. Die ersten 500 Meter sind zurückgelegt und es führt der Spanier Daniel Gutierrez Garcia. Er hat die ersten 500 Meter in 1,40 zurückgelegt, 3 Sekunden schneller als seine Konkurrenten neben ihm.
Well, they're going through 600 now, and that lead is still about a length with the Spaniard Gutierrez Garcia out in front. The Mexican Lopez Garcia is trying to move up the field here and just make a little bit of a margin between himself and the Argentinian and the Algerian. So we'll see how this race pans out. But a cracking start here for Gutierrez Garcia. What did you make of that, Camilla?
Yeah, a great start here for the sculler from Seville. He has blasted out of the blocks, trying to really establish some form of kind of dominance over the rest of the field, because he knows there is some sprinting to be done from those around him. I'd expect a big charge from Alexis Lopez of Mexico, the 2017 bronze medalist in the lightweight men's single scull at the under-23s. He's also a double Pan-American Games champion, so lots to come from him, I'm sure, over in lane number 1. Over in lane number 3, and he's now closing in fact. And just as I say that, the margin of Daniel Gutierrez Garcia has been reduced to merely a centimetre or 2, and in fact it is now Lopez Garcia that has taken the lead 700 metres in.
Der Mexikaner Alexis Lopez hat soeben die Führung übernommen, zwar nur ganz knapp vor dem Spanier, aber er führt nun diesen B-Final im Leichtgewichtsmänner-Einer an. Alexis Lopez, der die letzten 2 Jahre nicht in Europa war und auch sonst an keinen internationalen World Rowing Events teilnehmen kann, wahrscheinlich aufgrund der Covid-Pandemie. Er führt nun dieses B-Final und versucht sich an der Spitze abzusetzen. Dahinter ist es nach wie vor der Spanier auf der 2. Position und auf dem 3. Rang, ebenfalls noch in Reichweite, ist es Sid Ali Budina, der Algerier. Er hatte einen harten Halbfinal, wurde auf den letzten Streckenviertel noch abgefangen und hat es nicht ganz ins A-Finale geschafft. Er wurde 8. in Belgrad und ist bereits an den Olympischen Spielen gestartet für Algerien. Weiter an der Spitze ist es der Mexikaner, der sich nun leicht absetzen konnte, mit etwas mehr als einer Länge bereits führt. Ich weiß nicht, ob der noch einzuholen ist. What do you think, Camilla? Is the Mexican rower still going to be caught, or is he going to win this one?
Those sharp, punchy strokes that he started to deliver coming past us at halfway are going to be hard to overhaul. But Tim, what do you think is there going to be a response from Gutierrez Garcia?
Well, it's been a hallmark of all the crews from Spain to be very quick out of the blocks and have a fabulous sprint finish. So I expect that the Spanish athlete Daniel Gutierrez Garcia is going to raise his game and try to attack the Mexican in lane number 3. But at the moment, as it is now, it's that very nice punchy rhythm from Alexis Lopez Garcia, who is it's taken him out to about half a length of clear water over the Spanish athlete in lane number 1, with Budina from Algeria, the Olympian, in 3rd position now. But I don't really see the Mexican being overhauled at this stage of the race, but I'd love to be surprised by Daniel Gutierrez Garcia, and I think he is raising his game. It's at 36 strokes a minute, but the Mexican athlete is matching him stroke for stroke all the way down the line. Although, as I say that, the better boat speed, Peter, is with the Mexican in lane with the Spaniard in lane number 1.
Yeah, you called it bang on there, Tim. They're all at 36, with the exception of the Argentini, who's just dipped down to 34 for the last 50 metres or so. But making the best of the boat speed, despite them all equal in the rating, is Gutierrez Garcia for Spain. So he's closing in on the Mexican as we come up towards the red buoy. So it could all come down to the sprint. He'll want some payback for having just been rowed through in that middle 1,000 by Lopez Garcia. So let's see what they can do as they wind it up for the finish.
Ja, nur noch 30 Schläge sind zurückzulegen für den Führenden aus Mexiko, für Alexis Lopez Garcia. Er hat sich am Anfang noch etwas zurückgehalten, war 3 Sekunden langsamer unterwegs als Daniel Gutierrez Garcia aus Spanien, aber hat dann auf der zweiten Strecke aufgedreht und die Führung übernommen. Die hat er nur noch immer drin. Er konnte auch den Angriff abwehren vom Spanier, also noch eine Bootslänge, sogar etwas mehr Vorsprung für den Mexikaner auf dem zweiten Platz. Momentan der Spanier.
Alexis Lopez Garcia is going to take the win in this B final for the lightweight men's single sculls, coming to the last 20 metres, holding just over a length up on Gutierrez Garcia of Spain across the line. That's the 1-2, and then there's a length of clear water back to Sid Ali Budina for Algeria, and then a few lengths back to Dixon for Argentina. So that sees Lopez Garcia win the B final here in the lightweight men's singles. Now we go for the first A final of the day. It's the A final for the lightweight women's single sculls. We've got Susanna Duncan for France in lane 1, Marie-Louise Draeger of Germany in 2, Silvia Crosio for Italy in lane 3, Imogen Grant of Great Britain in lane 4, Kenya Lechuga for Mexico in 5, and Kirsten McCann for South Africa in lane 6.
Wir kommen zum ersten A-Finale des Tages und wir haben Frankreich auf Bahn 1, Deutschland auf Bahn 2, Italien auf Bahn 3, Großbritannien auf Bahn 4, Mexiko auf Bahn 5 und Südafrika auf Bahn 6.
Medals up for grabs now as we get into the first A final of our weekend here at World Rowing Cup 3 Lucerne. It's a good clean start across the board here, and we can see that it's the Mexican making the early lead. Not by much though, there's perhaps half a canvas in it between Lechuga and Grant for the lead at the moment, and certainly not leaving behind Kirsten McCann for South Africa. So the lead currently held on the far side of the course in lanes 4, 5 and 6, but I'm sure that'll chop and change as these athletes start to settle into their race rhythm, having had a pretty quick start there. And just as I say it, going through 200 now, Imogen Grant starting to poke her nose out in front of Lechuga, and Kirsten McCann now alongside Lechuga. So that's the 1, 2, 3 at this stage, and perhaps half a length down we've got Marie-Louise Draeger for Germany in 4th, and then half a length back from her we've got Duncan and Crosio of France and Italy, respectively, currently level at the back. So it's going to be interesting to see how they settle into this race rhythm coming up towards 400.
Ja, den besten Start hat Kenya Lechuga aus Mexiko erwischt. Sie ist richtig aus den Startblöcken heraus, hat sich katapultiert. Nun hat sie einen leichten Rückstand mittlerweile bei 400 Meter auf die Britin, auf Imogen Grant, aber ist immer noch sehr gut dabei. Ebenfalls die Südafrikanerin Kirsten McCann. Also es ist noch alles neu beisammen bei den ersten 3 Positionen. Auf der 4. Position ist die deutsche Marie-Louise Draeger.
Well, they're moving well along up towards 500, so we'll get some splits in a minute. Imogen Grant looks to have a full-length lead now out in front of Lechuga, who's 2 seconds her stern, and then half a second behind her we find McCann. Now here comes Marie-Louise Draeger. She was a bronze medalist at the Poznan World Cup just a couple of weeks ago. She's looking over her shoulder. We can see that happening on this great shot on the big screen here as she just looks over to see where the competitors are on the other side of the course. And then to her stern we've got the under-23 world champion from last year, Silvia Crosio, the Italian. Not out of the action just yet. If she can maintain contact and move up with the German, that might change the medal hopes here. But we're coming up towards 750 in. Imogen Grant a full length out ahead of Kenya Lechuga. So we'll see how this develops through this middle 1,000, and we'll catch up with Camilla and Timon.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, and this final is going to just kind of draw up and close up. I think Imogen Grant has been the star candidate on paper for the gold medal in this lightweight women's single event, and she does lead by some margin at the moment, but behind her I would expect quite a tussle to unfold. We know that the Italian Silvia Crossier's got quite the strong sprint on her, the under-23 world champion from last year. She moved through the field to take a spot in the final, and that was all work done in the final kilometre, so we'll expect fireworks from her in just a moment, but no one touching Grant for now. She's a length up on Kenya Lechuga. Lechuga has closed down in this last 500 metres that deficit that Grant had managed to put into her in that first 500, and Lechuga so strong. We've talked about it all regatta, the strength and the leverage that she's got on this scull, absolutely awesome through the middle part of the race, and she is closing down Grant, and I think now about a length and a quarter she sits in silver medal position, the Mexican, and then Kirsten McCann of South Africa half a length up on Marie-Louise Draeger of Germany. Crossio of Italy, we talked about having a strong finish. It's going to have to be very strong. She's about 5 lengths off Grant in gold medal position, but she might start to mount that challenge now.
Imogen Grant, die 4. in Tokio im Leichtgewichtsdoppelzweier, sie Medizinstudentin, die mehrfache Gewinnerin des Boat Races. Sie führt dieses Rennen an, dieses erste A-Finale des Tages, nicht ganz überraschend. Aber dann auf dem 2. Platz, und das ist die einzige Athletin in diesem Feld, die in ihrer Karriere bisher noch keinen Weltmeistertitel geholt hat. Die Mexikanerin Kenya Lechuga. Sie war 16. im Tokio in der offenen Klasse, und sie hat einen fabulösen Halbfinal gezeigt heute Morgen. Sie also auf der zweiten Position, momentan gefolgt von der Südafrikanerin Kirsten McCann. Ihr seid Weltmeisterin 2017, hat auch am Rotsee bereits gewonnen 2017. Sie wird unter Druck gesetzt von der Deutschen Marie-Louise Draeger, die seit ewigen Zeiten mit dabei ist. Sie bereits Weltmeisterin 2003, 2005, 2010. Sie hat auch schon 4-mal an den Olympischen Spielen teilgenommen. Wirklich eine großartige Athletin. Also die beiden, die kämpfen hier um den 3. Platz. Ebenfalls noch ein Wörtchen mitreden möchte die Italienerin, aber ich gebe weiter an meine Co-Kommentatoren, um den weiteren Verlauf des Rennens zu beschreiben.
Well, Imogen Grant here still leading the way in gold medal position, making a strong bid to get herself back into that British lightweight double scull, I'm sure, Tim.
Yeah, definitely. This is one performance to watch. It's so impressive to see Imogen Grant here stretching out to a full length and a half of clear water over the sculler from Mexico, Kenya Lechuga, in silver medal position. It's so impressive to see Imogen Grant racing at the front of the field. She went from stroking the Cambridge Women's 8 to racing at Henley and reaching the final. And now she's here on the Rothsay leading, and it's her race to lose, but I don't think she's going to. She's well underway to get a gold medal here in the lightweight women's single. Behind her, it's Lechuga from Mexico in silver medal position, and then for the bronze medal, it's really tight. But it's it's too early to call, Pete. But I think, but I'm not sure. It's McCann from South Africa who is looking good for a bronze medal position. But a lot can change in a few hundred meters.
Yeah, so much can change, particularly when it comes to lightweight singles racing into the last couple of 100 metres. We can see that Kirsten McCann's up at 40 strokes a minute trying to hold on to that bronze medal. But Silvia Crossier, the under-23 world champion from last year, is only down at 34, so she might have another gear to go to in this last 250. Grant looks to be running away with it. A really clean and fast race from her so far.
Ja, ganz vorne ist es Imogen Grant. Der Sieg wird ihr nicht mehr zu nehmen sein. Eine sehr beeindruckende Leistung von ihr. Noch vor einer Woche war sie im 8er unterwegs, jetzt wieder im 1er, also wirklich kurze Vorbereitungszeit, aber das hat ihr gereicht, um hier vorne wegzufahren. Dahinter dann die Mexikanerin Kenya Lechuga, auch relativ sicher, aber dahinter ganz hinten gibt es einen Kampf um Bronze zwischen Südafrika und Spanien. Die Südafrikanerin Kirsten McCann war 2017 schon hier auf dem Podium. Sie hat gewonnen. Nun möchte sie natürlich wieder hier auf dem Podium stehen.
Last couple of strokes and we're going to see Imogen Grant take the gold medal here in the lightweight women's single sculls. There we have it. It's gold for Imogen Grant of Great Britain. 2.5 lengths ahead of Kenya Lechuga for Mexico taking silver. And then the race is still on for bronze. Is Kirsten McCann going to hold on to it? Crossio surging for the line. Kirsten McCann for South Africa clings on to the bronze medal. 4th place to Crossio of Italy. 5th is then Marie-Louise Draeger for Germany. And 6th place, Susanna Duncan for France. So the next race on the course is the lightweight men's single sculls. Earlier today, we caught up with one of the favourites for the win in this race, Ireland's Paul O'Donovan. We asked him whether or not he would consider a haircut to make weight if push came to shove. Well, we've just had the lightweight women's single scull, and I've got some news for you. Imogen Grant has just set a new world best time. Amazing stuff here, set here on the Rothsay in Lucerne 2022 at World Rowing Cup 3. The new world best time for lightweight women's single, 7:23.36, beating the previous time by 1.1 seconds, which was set by Zoe McBride of New Zealand back in the World Cup in 2015 in Varese. So an amazing performance there. In the A-Final, Imogen Grant, new world best time.
Ja, Peter hat es eben gesagt, es gab eine neue Weltbestzeit von Imogen Grant im Leichtgewichtsfrauen-Einer. 7:23.36.
Next up, it's the A-Final for the lightweight men's single sculls. We've got Uruguay, Australia, Belgium, Ireland, Uruguay and Slovenia.
Im A-Finale im Männerleichtgewichtseiner haben wir Uruguay, Australien, Belgien, Irland, Uruguay 2 und Slowenien.
Lining up in this A-Final for the lightweight men's single sculls. In lane 1, representing Uruguay, Felipe Cluve Ferreira. Lane 2 for Australia, Oscar McGuinness. Lane 3 for Belgium, Thibaut Vivet. Lane 4 for Ireland, Paul O'Donovan. Lane 5 for Uruguay, Bruno Catraro Berriolo. And in lane 6 for Slovenia, Rajko Hrvat. There we have it. We've got the start of this A-Final for the lightweight men's single sculls. Let's see how they get up to pace here. 58 strokes a minute from Paul O'Donovan. 60 nearly Goodness me, that is a high rating there. The closest to that is Oscar McGuinness for Australia, who's up at 54, now striding down to 50. So a few very rapid strokes from the Irish athletes to just get the boat up to speed. But the fastest out of the blocks is actually Catraro Beriolo of Uruguay, up already by half a canvas on Thibaut Vivet for Belgium. That's the 1-2 at the moment, but they're only 100 or so metres in. So let's see how they settle into this pace and see if we can start to choose an early leader as they get established in this A-Final for the lightweight men's single.
Ja, die Boote sind gestartet und alle Augen sind natürlich auf Paul O'Donovan gerichtet. Der Olympiasieger vom letzten Jahr im Leichtgewichtsdoppelzweier macht nun in diesem Jahr seine Saisoneröffnung, seine internationale Saisoneröffnung hier am Rotsee, und zwar im Leichtgewichtseiner. Er ist gut gestartet und mit einer unglaublich hohen Schlagzahl für 59 ist er gestartet. Es hat zwar nicht ganz für die frühe Führung gereicht, momentan ist er aber noch gut dabei, etwa eine Länge hinter dem Führenden aus Uruguay, hinter dem Bruno Cedaro Beriolo.
Well, they're coming towards 500 metres in and still out in front. Catraro Beriolo of Uruguay still holding the lead here. Vivet trying to contest it though, but there's nothing to separate these athletes so far. Coming up through the 500 metre mark, so we'll get some splits in a second. It's not by much. In fact, here comes Oscar McGuinness starting to contest the front, just poking his nose out as they cross the line. So he's the first over the 500 in 140.89. And nobody getting left behind whatsoever yet here as they come up towards 600 metres. McGuinness still out in front by perhaps half a canvas on the Uruguayan and the Belgian. And then perhaps half a canvas back, so half length off the leader, we've got the Irishman, Paul O'Donovan, riding in 4th place at the moment. Flanked on either side then, we've got 5th and 6th with the Slovenian, Hrvat, and the other Uruguayan, Kluver Ferreira, on the near side of the course. So we'll see how they settle into this going through 750. Uruguayans here in, not everybody likes the bucket hats, Camilla, but we quite like them. We were talking about that.
We do. We love the bucket hats, and it's a very sensible option when it's as hot as it is here today on the Rotsee. Absolutely blistering conditions, but very quick conditions, as we've heard. A world best time set already this morning. Hopefully more of those to fall this weekend. But this race is also blisteringly hot as the medals separated by nothing more than a few metres. It's still Oscar McGuinness, the man from Adelaide Rowing Club in South Australia, in the lead. What a debut season it's been for him, but he's going to have to look to his left, look to his right, because he's surrounded by quality here. And closing in on that gold medal, we've got Paul O'Donovan. You'd be silly to write him off, the Irish Olympic gold and silver medalist from the lightweight men's double scull. Has just taken a quick look over to see how far McGuinness is in front, and he'll be able to see that it's simply a canvas he has to make up. The bronze medal currently being tussled between Vivet, Hrvat, and also the Uruguayan. That's in fact Bruno Catraro Beriolo, just the other sculler from Uruguay, 1 length off the pace.
Ja, spannend, wie sich dieses A-Finale im leichten Männer-Einer hier entwickelt. Es war Oscar McGuinness, der die Führung übernommen hat auf dem zweiten 500er. Er wird hier aber mächtig unter Druck gesetzt, denn Paul O'Donovan, der Olympiasieger aus Tokio, wie Michael es bereits angekündigt hat, er hat hier versucht anzugreifen, kurz vor der 1000-Meter-Marke. Und dahinter ist es sehr, sehr eng zwischen Thibaut Vivet, der Gewinner aus Belgrad im ersten Weltcup, dem Uruguayer Bruno Cedaro Beriolo und auch Hrvat Raiko, der hier noch mit dem Spitzen-Vierboten mitfährt. Also es ist wirklich sehr, sehr spannend und es bleibt sehr eng hier.
Paul O'Donovan for Ireland's gone into a frenzy. He's up at 38 strokes a minute, closing in on the lead that Oscar McGuinness of Australia has had, but sandwiched in the middle, Thibaut Vivet, the gold medalist from World Cup 1, down at 33 strokes a minute. He looks so chilled. Can we expect some more from him in the final 500, Tim?
Yeah, definitely. He pulled a small part of his sprint out of the bag in the semi-final this morning, which he led comfortably. But now he's down. It's about 3/4 of a length down to the leading sculler from Australia. Australia. McGuinness there in the lead, but it's neck on neck between him and Paul O'Donovan, who's trying to do the same thing he did this morning, which is move through the back of the field with 500 meters left to go. Thibaut Vivet having to move with him to stay in contention for a medal. And we can see Rajko Hrvat from Slovenia up high in the rating already, 39 strokes a minute, but he is still in reach of one of those 3 medals waiting at the finish. Paul O'Donovan now moving ahead convincingly, and Oscar McGuinness of Australia having the work to do to defend his silver medal, because I think I saw a little move there coming from the young Belgian sculler Thibaut Vivet, trying to move with Paul O'Donovan to the front of the field. So Paul O'Donovan looking fabulous here for a gold medal, but who's going to get the silver and who's going to get the bronze, Pete?
Yeah, well, he's gone early, hasn't he? He was up at 38 at 1500. He's now at 42, well before the others. We've got McGuinness at 38, but Vivet still down there at 35, 36. So we wonder whether we're going to see more of a sprint here, and it could see him move up into silver medal position, as he does. He's now drawn level with McGuinness.
Ja, ganz vorne ist es Paul O'Donovan, welcher hier als erster die 250-Meter-Marke erreicht hat und nun Richtung Ziel stürmt. Der Ire macht es hier wunderbar, fährt hier wie gewohnt einen Top-Endspurt. Dahinter dann gibt es einen Kampf um Silber und Bronze. Momentan die besten Karte der Belgier Thibaut Vivet, der schon den ersten Weltcup gewonnen hat. Also Hochspannung. Dahinter dann ein Kampf um Bronze zwischen Australien und Uruguay.
This is unbelievable. Paul O'Donovan at 48 strokes a minute through the last 200 metres here, just clinging on to under a length lead over Vivet, now at 38. It's absolutely neck and neck here. We've got Catraro Belliarolo desperately holding on to bronze medal here as McGuinness is dropping back out of the medals. Paul O'Donovan for Ireland. He's the only Irish athlete here. He's going home with the gold, a length up on silver to Vivet, and then half a length back we have bronze going to Catraro Belliarolo. 4th place to McGuinness. 5th is Kluver Ferreira. What an exciting conclusion. No, on the far side, 5th is Rajko Hrvat, 6th is Kluver Ferreira. An amazing sprint finish, 48 strokes a minute. Paul O'Donovan, gold for him and for Ireland, silver to Thibaut Vivet, and bronze to Catraro Belliarolo. The victory ceremony for the lightweight women's single sculls.
Die Siegerehrung zum Leichtgewichtsfrauen-Einer.
Winner of the bronze medal representing South Africa,
Gewinnerin der Bronzemedaille aus Südafrika,
Kirsten McCann. Winner of the silver medal representing Mexico,
Gewinnerin der Silbermedaille aus Mexiko,
Kenya Lechuga. Winner of the gold medal representing Great Britain,
Gewinnerin der Goldmedaille aus Großbritannien,
Imogen Grant. Ladies and gents, let's hear it for our medalists.
Applaus für unsere Medaillengewinnerinnen.
It's the last race of the day here on day 2 of racing at the World Rowing Cup 3 Lucerne. Two-boat race here in this A-final for the lightweight men's quadruple sculls, Germany and the Netherlands.
A-Finale im Leichtgewichtsmänner-Doppelvierer. Auf Bahn 1 Deutschland, auf Bahn 2 die Niederlande.
This A-final for lightweight men's quadruple sculls, lining up in lane 1 for Germany, Simon Klüter, Johannes Ursprung, Fabio Kress and Joachim Agner. And in lane 2 for the Netherlands, Stefan Slatter, Niels van Vliet, Maxim de Bogaert and Max Hompel. And we're underway with the last A-final of the day here on day 2 of racing at the World Rowing Cup 3 Lucerne, Switzerland. It's the A-final for the lightweight men's quadruple sculls. Good quick start for the Dutch. They're still up there at 47 strokes a minute coming into the first 100 metres done. Germany not getting left behind. They're perhaps half a canvas down. They're still striking or sculling at 45, stroked there by the world champion from 2018, Joachim Agner, in the stroke seat, so he'll be looking to settle them into a good race rhythm, and we'll see how these two tussle it out over the 1,800 metres or so left of this 2K course on the Rotsee, the Lake of the Gods, for those tuning in at home.
Wir haben wirklich beste Bedingungen hier für diese ersten A-Finals von diesem Wochenende. Hier im Doppelvierer der Leichtgewichtsmänner sind 2 Boote nun unterwegs. Bei der 400-Meter-Marke ist es praktisch, ja, unentschieden. Deutschland und die Niederlande gleich auf. Vielleicht 1 Meter Vorsprung für Deutschland. Also wir können uns freuen auf ein ganz interessantes Rennen. Beide Crews sind noch immer mit einer Schlagzahl von 40 Schlägen unterwegs und sie nähern sich also schnell der 500-Meter-Marke.
Coming through 500, both boats are neck and neck going through 500 metres, both at 39 strokes a minute. So we're going to see who's making the better boat speed. Germany just 44 hundredths of a second ahead of the Netherlands, but they're nearly trading places every 50 metres or so. I think Germany will want to establish dominance now as they come up towards 600, but they're just not managing to break away from the Netherlands. They're matched for boat speed, they're matched for ratings. Let's see how we're going to split them as they come up towards 700 metres. And for the last time today, I'll leave you with Camilla and Timon.
For the last time today, indeed, and this final opportunity to get your hands on a medal still looking extremely tight at this point in time. Is Germany leading out by, well, about a quarter of a length at this point in time. Very similarly matched both boat speeds and ratings. Germany at 38, the Netherlands at 39, and just perhaps a little bit of consistency in the German boat. Joachim Agner in the stroke seat, just keeping them honest at 39 now. No settling at all when the race is this tight and when it's head-on-head, gladiatorial style, just 2 boats going for a medal. This is going to be almost down to, well, the Netherlands in their test race on Friday. Yesterday, they only raced to 1,500 metres, so we've not seen their full potential yet, and they are still trailing. It's now half a length to Germany. They've just pushed out 1 more seat as they approach the halfway marker, but the Dutch looking looking a little bit more collected at 38 strokes a minute.
Ja, ein packender Zweikampf hier zwischen diesen beiden Leichtgewichtsmännern. Doppelvierer sind die Deutschen, die nach wie vor ein paar wenige Meter Vorsprung haben. Joachim Agne vom Würzburger Ruderclub, der akademische Ruderclub Würzburg, der hat eben nach links geschielt und gesehen, dass sie einfach nicht so wirklich wegkommen von den Holländern. Dahinter der auf Konter Fabio Kress, ebenfalls aus dem akademischen Ruderclub Würzburg. Er der U23-Weltmeister 2021 im leichten Doppelzweier. Also dieses Boot gespickt mit Weltmeistern, mit Leichtgewichtsweltmeistern. Sie wissen, wie man so ein Rennen gewinnt und sie versuchen jetzt einen weiteren Akzent zu setzen und sich von den Holländern etwas wegzuschieben. Was kann uns Tim vielleicht zu den Holländern erzählen? Wir sind gespannt. Zunächst zurück zu Camilla.
Yeah, a couple of gold medalists from both the under-23s and the Senior World Championships sandwiched in the middle of that German crew. Fabio Kress at 3, Johannes Ursprung at 2, both with medals from those occasions. But the Dutch crew, that little bit younger, they're just coming onto the international scene. 2 debutantes in their sandwich of their crew in Maxim den Bogart and Niels van Vliet. But Tim, what have they got to do now in order to get themselves back on terms with Germany?
Yeah, they have about a length or a little over a length. It's almost a full boat length which the Germans have as an advantage with 1,500 meters left to go. Fabulous rhythm there coming from Joachim Agne in the stroke seat of that German quad. And the Dutch just there or thereabouts. They still have a little bit of contact, but it's going to take something special from Stefan Slachter, Niels van Vliet, Maxime den Bogert and Dutch national champion Max Gompel in the stroke seat to reel the Germans back and get that medal. It's going to be a big ask, but the Netherlands at 38 strokes a minute overrating the Germans, but the Germans have the superior boat speed and they're turning up the power and they are moving towards a finish. 2:50 to go, Pete. The Germans looking fabulous out in front, but can the Dutch catch the German quad in before the line?
Well, this is just what you'd expect to see with that German combination. We've heard of their plaudits that they've managed. World Championship gold, under-23 World Championship gold, stroke there by Joachim Agne, who's setting a great rhythm here. And despite underrating the Dutch, they're continuing to pull away. It's now a clear length they've got over the Netherlands coming into the last 200.
Ja, die Deutschen haben eine Länge Vorsprung und es sind nur noch 200 Meter bis ins Ziel zu rudern. Also das sieht sehr gut aus für den deutschen Ruderverband, hier die erste Goldmedaille zu sichern an diesem Wochenende. Die Holländer machen wirklich auch einen guten Job da auf dem zweiten Platz. Technisch rudern sie wirklich ganz gut, aber vielleicht reicht nicht ganz die Kraft gegenüber von den Deutschen.
Last 5 strokes and we're going to see Germany take the gold medal here in the A final of the lightweight men's quadruple sculls. It's an amazing performance from them, just gradually plugging away and moving up to a length and a quarter across the line over the Netherlands. So Germany's Simon Klute, Johannes Ursprung, Fabio Kress and Joachim Agne take the gold medal in the A final of lightweight men's quads. The victory ceremony for the lightweight men's single sculls.
Die Siegerehrung zum Leichtgewichtsmänner Einer.
Winner of the bronze medal, representing Uruguay,
Gewinner der Bronzemedaille aus Uruguay,
Bruno Cetraro Berriolo. Winner of the silver medal, representing Belgium,
Gewinner der Silbermedaille aus Belgien,
Thibaut Vivet. Winner of the gold medal, representing Ireland,
Gewinner der Goldmedaille aus Irland.
Paul O'Donovan. Ladies and gents, let's hear it for our medalists.
Applaus für unsere Medaillengewinner.
Well, we just had the victory ceremony for the lightweight men's singles, and we've got one more coming up, so don't go anywhere just yet. We've still got the victory ceremony for the lightweight men's quadruple sculls, so we'll see the medal awarded there. And just while I've got you, I've got a bit of exciting news. Paul O'Donovan, who was just awarded the gold medal for Ireland there, set a new World Cup best time. So the new World Cup best time set here in Lucerne is 6:47.15. Exciting stuff there, set by Paul O'Donovan, having just won the gold medal in the A final of the lightweight men's singles. But as I say, folks, don't go anywhere just yet. Victory ceremony coming up for the lightweight men's quads.
Die Regatta ist noch nicht ganz fertig für heute. Es gibt noch die Siegerehrung im Leichtgewichtsmänner Doppelvierer. Also bleiben Sie noch vor Ort, geben Sie den Athleten und in dieser Bootsklasse noch einen kräftigen Applaus. Die Deutschen steigen in diesem Moment aus ihrem Doppelvierer aus. Und wie Pete werde ich noch die Zeit kurz nutzen. Es gab neben der Weltbestzeit von Imogen Grant auch noch eine Weltcup-Bestzeit von Paul O'Donovan. Also sehr schnelle Bedingungen heute Nachmittag hier auf dem Rotsee.
Victory ceremony for the lightweight men's quadruple sculls.
Die Siegerehrung zum Leichtgewichtsmänner Doppelvierer.
Winners of the gold medal,
Gewinner der Goldmedaille.
Germany! Germany represented by
Deutschland, vertreten durch Joachim Agne, Fabio Kress, Johannes Ursprung, und Simon Klüter.
Ladies and gents, let's hear it for our medalists.
Applaus für unsere Medaillengewinner.
Well, folks, what a day we've had here on day 2 of racing at World Rowing Cup 3 Lucerne. I hope you've enjoyed it, everybody tuning in at home, following all of the live racing, and certainly I'm sure everybody here on the banks of the Rothsay would agree it's been a beautiful day here for racing on the lake. Absolutely stunning conditions, pan flat on the water with a tiny little tail breeze and a toasty 24 degrees Celsius. And we've seen the first medals being awarded in our weekend of racing, but there's still so much more to come, so make sure that everybody tunes in at home for racing starting tomorrow at 8:50 in the morning local time here in Switzerland. And if you're here in Switzerland, do come back down to the Lake of the Gods of the Rothsay and get comfortable on the banks, because we've got a whole morning of B finals followed by a whole load of A finals to look forward to. We've had the first 3 A finals, a whole load more to come tomorrow. My name's Peter Hanlon. I've been joined up here in the tower by Michael Schmidt, and we've had Camilla Hadland-Horrocks and Timon Vernas at the 1,000, Tim von Vliet at 1,500. We've so enjoyed bringing you all of the colour and spectacle of the racing through the 2 days so far. We're desperately excited to be back tomorrow. Hopefully the weather remains the same. And we hope you all have a great evening. And we look forward to seeing you for the last day of racing tomorrow.
Ja, was für ein toller Tag heute hier am Rothsee in Luzern. Wir hatten beste Bedingungen am Nachmittag, noch ein schöner Mitwind, sodass es noch für eine Weltbestzeit und für einen Weltcup-Bestzeit gereicht hat. Also perfekt, wie wir hier die A-Finals lossieren konnten. Die ersten Medaillen, die ersten Goldmedaillen sind über den Ladentisch gegangen, und zwar an Irland, Großbritannien und Deutschland. Also wir freuen uns schon auf die Rennen morgen. Es beginnt um 8:50 Uhr mit dem B-Finale im Frauen-Zweierrunde. 8:55 Uhr dann der B-Finale im Männer-Zweierrunde mit Schweizer Beteiligung. Also für alle Schweizer Fans heißt es morgen früh aufstehen. 8:55 Uhr müssen wir die beiden Ruderer Maureen Lange und Jonah Plock anfeuern, damit sie möglichst eine gute Platzierung in diesem B-Finale herausruden. Das erste A-Finale dann um 10:05 Uhr mit dem Frauen-Zweierrunde.